This episode is brought to you by Libre DeFi Animal Farms NFT series. These 2,500 uniquely generated NFTs will give you an all-access pass to the Libre platform with additional perks like APR boosts for staking and farming, early access to the PTE gaming beta, and more. And if you mint with the Libre token, you'll get 2 NFTs for the price of 1. Visit LibreDeFi.io for more details on acquiring this awesome NFT series. Link in the description below.
This my 2 Satoshis, who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis, yeah.
It's your boy Crypto Blood and welcome to another My 2 Satoshis video. Today we are talking about Phish, not F-I-S-H, but P-H-I-S-H. Phishing, that is the attempt from hackers to collect your information by sending you emails that may be disguised as those coming from official lines of communication. Well, today's phishing, we're having a lot of those going on in the crypto markets and outside the crypto markets, but we're talking specifically about the cryptocurrency industry. Trezor has been hit big time by a phishing attack, and it was actually done and compromised through MailChimp. So we'll talk about that. There are some other phishing attacks happening as well that you need to be aware of. Those coming from Discord and really are targeting a lot of the NFT projects and drops. So I want you guys to be very aware of that as well. So we're going to take a look at those 2 phishing attacks that happened or is happening as of lately in the crypto markets. I also want to talk to you guys about the equities markets, and you guys know that equities markets play a huge role in the direction of the crypto markets. Unfortunately, I have to admit that, and I've been saying that for quite some time. So you have to pay attention to what's going on in the equities markets because it's very important and it does impact what happens to your crypto portfolio. As you guys may understand, we've seen a rally in cryptos, and everyone thinks it's just because it's a strong safe haven against the Ukraine-Russian war and all of that. I would love to feel that way and believe that as well. I would love for that to be the truth, but it quite honestly isn't, because as we've seen the crypto markets head up, so have we seen the equities markets head up, and it's been almost a mirrored reaction. So what is going on here? Well, I personally think that the crypto markets and equities alike have pretty much got it wrong. And markets do from time to time get it wrong as far as pricing in where we should be from a market perspective, from a price perspective. And I think that the market got it wrong, and it will be corrected this month. Last month we had the interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. Before the actual announcement, I thought that we would possibly see no move at all because it was priced in, or a move lower because it was not priced in as far as what level they would hike interest rates. Maybe we thought it was only going to be 25 basis points, and they did a 50 basis point move to slow down the economy. But actually, I was wrong. They did a 25 basis point hike, but the markets rallied off of that. So to me, that means that the markets were not pricing in such a low interest rate hike. And so that means it was very bullish for the stock market, and then subsequently any other risk on asset. So I think the market was actually looking for a 50 basis point move up, and they only got 25. So that was very bullish for the markets. I think this go around, this is just Crypto Blood's opinion on the markets. I think the markets got overzealous, and now they're looking for only another quarter basis point hike, but they actually might get a 50 basis point hike from the Feds this go round in April. And if that does happen, you're going to see a move to the downside big time. So I want you guys to be prepared for that possibility. Always be prepared for what might not happen, so that you can weather the storm, right? So your portfolios won't get mopped. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of My 2 Satoshis. Let's get it.
But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this.
So the first line of business we got to talk about is this PSA. There's been a breach on MailChimp's internal tools. Hackers have gotten a control of their internal tools, guys, and started sending out emails masked as official Trezor emails asking clients to reset their passwords or pins and download this malicious software update. So be careful. Hope you guys haven't done that. And if you haven't and just realize that you got an email from them, do not do anything here. I would say, be honest with you, the best way to know if something is official, always check their Twitter or social media accounts. Check multiple channels of their social media, not just Twitter. Check other ones as well to see if there's some actual major breach done. Typically, companies will communicate with their customers that way, via social media. If you don't find anything there, go ahead and just contact support directly on their website. Don't just make a reaction from an email, because that's where most phishing attacks come. They come from the email servers, and they position and disguise themselves as the actual company. So just keep that in mind as you move forward in this space. It is important to double check all lines of communication. If there is an email coming out asking you to download something because of a breach, or send them passwords or anything like that, of course, never send passwords. So it looks like in an email, MailChimp confirmed that the breach was more significant than just Trezor's accounts being accessed by threat actors. According to MailChimp, some of the employees fell for a social engineering attack that led to theft of their credentials. So this first happened on March 26th as the security team became aware of malicious actors accessing one of their internal tools used by customer-facing teams for customer support and account administration, resulting in employee credentials being compromised. The threat actors were able to gain access to API keys, and an undisclosed number of them of customers, which have now been disabled, but those API keys allowed those hackers to basically send emails out acting as though they were, in this case, Trezor. So hopefully those out there using Trezors did not click any email from Trezor telling you to download a new software update and reset your password. Hope you guys stay safe out there. Again, if you get an email like that, it may be real, but to double check and verify, check other lines of communications from that company, because 9 times out of 10 a hacker is not going to be able to hack the Twitter, Facebook, and the email. I think customer support would be the last line of verification you can do to just help mitigate that, especially something like your crypto wallet, right? I'll also leave a link to this article that talks about ways that you can protect yourself against phishing attacks, like the one happened with Trezor. I mean, they say, have strong passwords, 12 characters or more, including some upper and lowercase digits and special symbols. We, all pretty much should know that. I would suggest using LastPass as a means of holding all of your passwords, so you don't have to remember all those complicated strong passwords. That is a great tool to use, and they got a list of other tips for you to keep yourself secure. You can read through that. The next hack that I want to talk about, though, is the one coming from Discord. So I don't know if you guys knew about this, and I want you guys to definitely keep your eyes out on this one, but there have been a slew of attacks tricking people into clicking links from Discord so that they can then mint a non-existing NFT. The hackers then can come in and ask for an Ethereum or an NFT wrapped into a token, and appear to have been successful in a few instances. And so what they're doing is taking over the actual channel's bots to make use of phishing attacks. Here's another example. If you're in a Discord room and the bot in that room says, send us this, or reset your password here, or anything suspicious, literally just go to their Twitter and see if they're saying the same thing there. If you don't see anything there and you still think it may be a real request, reach out to support. Don't be so quick to make an action or do something. Wait and just be patient, because this is your money on the line. This is crypto. Once stolen, you can't get back. So you want to just take your time with anything serious regarding your accounts, or anything regarding swapping NFTs or selling them for an astronomical amount of money. If it's too good to be true, it most likely is. So double check when you're out here in these Discord rooms and on your emails, please. Lastly, I want to talk about what Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, said about interest rates, inflation, and all of that. I typically don't even report on him and what he has to say. However, this one I think I have to agree with, and this comes from his actual yearly or annual letter to shareholders, JP Morgan shareholders, and where he kind of goes over the Russia, Ukraine, US, and global economy. and also what we have as far as the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on GDP for the EU and United States. It's actually going to, they think, affect GDP in the United States by 0.5% and hit Europe by 2.5%. That's a huge haircut, almost 50% haircut from what they expected. So that is big news for the EU, and it's going to really impact that whole economy. But what I really want to show you guys and help you guys understand is what I talked about at the beginning, is that Jamie Dimon said the markets are underestimating the speed at which he expects the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates. And this kind of falls in line with what I was saying. I think the markets expected a 50 basis point hike last month in March, but only got a quarter basis point. That's why we saw the rally in stocks, the best rally we've seen, I think, in history. And so, of course, the crypto markets follow the NASDAQ at like almost a 75% correlation. So we saw cryptos head higher as well. But he's saying that he believes that the markets aren't really baking in an aggressive interest rate hike dot plot for the future, meaning future hikes could be way higher than what the markets maybe expected. So he said in the same letter to the shareholders, the stronger the recovery, the higher the interest rates that follow. So he believes that this could be a significantly higher interest rate hike than the markets are expecting. He says that he feels like the Fed could lift interest rates more than 2.5% by the end of this year. So that means 250 basis points. We've been raising 25 basis point, which is basically a 1/4%. Well, that's what happened last month in March. We did a 1/4 basis point increase in interest rates, but that's another tenfold increase in interest rates by the end of this year. We're already nearly at the halfway mark. So if that's the case, then you got to imagine next month's interest rate hike is not going to be a 1/4 basis point. It may be closer to 50 basis points, and that would definitely pull the markets back big time, because all the whole point of this interest rate hike is to really slow the economy down because it's overheating. If we were just taking inflation by itself and not having any Fed intervention, yes, inflation or higher inflation is great for assets, period. Homes, stocks, cryptos. It means that the dollar is getting weaker, so prices are going up. It takes more dollars to buy X goods or services. But because the Federal Reserve has so much debt out there, a booming economy would mean more expensive services on those debts that they have. It costs more to service the debts that they have, and we know they've printed more money in the last year because of this pandemic than they have in the whole history of the world. They can't see the cost of debt go up, so they're going to come in, higher those interest rates, and cool the economy down, basically put it into a recession on purpose. But they don't want you to know that. So that's what's going on, and I think I have to agree with Jamie Dimon here. Unfortunately, I hate to have to agree with him, but this is something we have to pay attention to in the next quarter or so when it comes to crypto markets. So don't think that we're just in the clear here in regards to the crypto markets and we're going to go higher. No, if the Federal Reserve is going to stay true to what they've been saying about cooling the economy, because it's been kind of hot lately because of all the money printing they've directly injected into the markets, then they're going to have to increase interest rates and cool the economy down, and subsequently the markets down too. So let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to know what you think, and make sure you guys stay safe out there with those phishing attacks, because it is real in the field. If you found this video informative, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here. Holla!